Hello my friends, welcome back to Clarity in the Chaos, formerly known as Keto in the Chaos. My name is Tammy, and on this channel I like to share all the crazy mental and physical ups and downs of what it's like to face a lifelong battle of obesity. So if that sounds interesting to you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe on your way in for more videos like this one to inspire you to get started.
Let's be in the present. I don't want to sweat it. I just want to start all over. Just want to start all over. All over.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. I cannot believe this is my 2 months on tirzepatide update. It seems crazy that I'm already at the end of week 8 and I am now about to take my 9th dose of GLP-1. If you guys are new here, you may not realize that I lost over 200 pounds on a ketogenic diet back in 2017 to 2020. I had a whole skin removal surgery, really thought that I was cured, and then ended up with a 90-pound regain post-surgery that has led me down the rabbit hole of discovery and finding out that GLP-1 was probably the answer to my problems from the very beginning. So here we are, and now we're trying to not only mitigate that 90-pound regain, but also maybe go a little further. I don't know, we shall see. I cannot even fathom doing that at this point. I was very content at 200 pounds down at 174 pounds, but I don't know. We shall see what happens in the future. But here we are at the end of 2 months already. And in this video, I'm going to be talking to you just face to face. You're not going to see any of the things that I ate this week. That will be in the vlog tomorrow, so don't miss that. If you're looking for the things I'm eating to lose weight on my GLP-1 way of life, you can definitely check that video out tomorrow. Today, I will just be giving you all the data, basically from my weigh-in this week, and also from the whole 2 months that I've so far been on my GLP-1 weight loss journey. So I hope that will be interesting to you guys. You can see my progress over time. And if you're looking for the information on the different side effects that I had, I'm probably not going to give a lot of that in this video. I've definitely given them in the week by week videos. I definitely am going to talk about how it went for me this particular week. But if you want to know like all of my symptoms from like day 1 and on, you'll have to go back and check some of the other talking head updates that I did where I talked about those things. So let's get right into it. For week 8, I was a little concerned. I know you guys probably, if you saw my video last week, remember that I was worried because I tend to be a person who puts on weight gain or water weight gain when I am ovulating. And this was going to be my ovulation week. I was actually supposed to ovulate yesterday. I think I ovulated early on Sunday based on some symptoms that I have that tell me when I ovulate. Either that or I didn't ovulate at all this week. I was supposed to, and I was expecting it to be not so great. But I'm happy to report that that did not happen. I'm kind of shocked actually that did not happen. I actually decided to go up to the Eli Lilly dosage of 5 milligrams. I was previously, before that, on 4.4 milligrams and had been for 2 weeks, which is Brello's 2nd month dosage prescription. So on my prescription, I'm with Brello Health. I have given tons of information about Brello in other videos, so I'm not going to do that here, but you can find the link and everything in the description. Not an affiliate link yet. I promise that I keep checking in with them, and they promise they're going to tell me as soon as they have information about that. Someone claimed that they saw someone doing affiliate stuff on TikTok. I have not yet seen it, but anyway, that's a whole other thing we're not going to talk about on this video. But I am with Brello, and their dosages are 4 weeks at 2.2 milligrams, then 4 weeks at 4.4 milligrams, and then 4 weeks at 6.6 milligrams, and so on. And I decided, because I am one of those kind of people that likes to experiment and doesn't like to be told what to do. And since with Brello, you're working with a telehealth doc and you're not really like talking to them face to face to get like information, I decided I was going to make myself be a little bit of a guinea pig. I have received some backlash about that. I have been told, firstly, that I'm moving up too fast, which that one doesn't even make sense to me since I literally am barely hitting the dosage that Eli Lilly recommends for week 4, and I just finished week 8. So make that make sense. or that my body will get used to titrating up often because I've been titrating up a little bit at a time, and that it won't respond if I stay in one dose. Both of those, I think, are like literally based on zero science, so I am not concerned. If you are one of the people in either of those camps, feel free to believe that, but for me, it's working, and I am not gonna complain because I feel like it's been really beneficial to me. So I did move up to the 5 milligrams this week, and can I just say, it was not a good experience. Now, I haven't really had many side effects over my entire journey. So when I say it wasn't that great of a week, I'm not talking about like I got violently ill or anything. That did not happen. It's just that this week I experienced side effects, probably for the first time, that annoyed me enough to make me annoyed. So I wouldn't call them severe by any stretch. So before you go saying that I shouldn't have moved up to the 5 milligrams, that I should have stayed on the 4.4 and blah, blah, blah. No. What I'm experiencing is what everybody else explains that they experience, and I hadn't yet. So I did have a lot more side effects this week. Number one, the most side effect that I had this week was nausea, but like, it doesn't quite get bad enough to really be miserable. And so I don't feel like it's bad enough to like take a Zofran. I didn't even remember that I had ginger chews. I did try taking my Tums. It's not Tums, but it's a type of antacid type thing. I took some digestive enzymes with a couple of my meals. But other than that, and I totally forgot the trick about sniffing alcohol pads, even though I've given that tip myself here on this channel. I totally forgot to do it. Though I find myself craving the smell of it often, and I wonder if that's my brain like trying to reset myself, and I don't know. Didn't ever try it. I would say I was nauseated pretty much the whole week, on and off. So, and the problem is that like in previous weeks, I've had nausea, but it was always a signal that I needed to eat. This week, eating did not seem to stop the nausea, or if it did, it came back faster than I expected, and I didn't really want to eat yet. And so I was confused about how to handle it because I wasn't sure if it was just nausea or if it was hunger, because I was also hungry. So make it make sense that I was nauseous but also hungry, and it seemed like I would get hungry faster. And so I was slightly irritated because it's one thing to be nauseated and not hungry, right? But it's another thing to be nauseated and hungry. At least 5 days this week I woke up ravenously starving, and that has not been happening before. And like I will often feel full, because that's working. Like that was working this week, feeling full, being able to stop eating. In fact, there were 2 times this week where I couldn't finish my meal, which was frustrating because I track my meals and I know I'm eating the right amount of food. But 2 times this week I could not finish my meal. One was last night, and one was when I was leaving for a dance convention this weekend, and I just couldn't do it. And I had to like guesstimate and to remove the whatever I didn't eat from the tracker, which was extremely inconvenient. But whatever, I did it. So that part was working. And the satiety factor, where I like would eat and then feel satisfied, which is my number one reason for moving up, because I was not getting that last week still. I would get it occasionally, but not like enough to make me feel calm, like what I was eating was enough, right? Like I just keep wanting to eat more, and that's so annoying. It's not even a food noise thing, because it's not really like me thinking about food. It's just that I just don't feel like I got enough to eat, even though I know I did. So that was working. But the problem is that would work, and then I would feel stuffed. Like I couldn't get another bite in. And then like an hour later, I was hungry again. So I was frustrated because I was feeling like side effects, and some things were working, but not all of the things. Did I have food noise this week though? No. And did I have a lot of crazy noise in my head? Not really. Did I have a lot of mood swings this week? Yes, I did. Like a lot. I had a lot of crying episodes, random sad episodes, and I some of them were warranted, some not. I kind of attributed it to the medication, but I really don't know for sure if it was that or if it was hormones, because I was ovulating and it was my ovulation week. And I get way crazier and have way more hormonal fluctuations during my ovulation period than I do my actual cycle, which is weird and different than most people. I don't usually retain water on my cycle. I don't usually like have mood swings right before it. So it's probably just that. I don't know. Just, I don't know. This didn't feel totally myself this week, which was disappointing. But I also wasn't fighting demons in my head like usual. And so even though it was a harder week, and it literally felt like the world's longest week, like it felt like as long as the first week sometimes, I was like, oh my gosh, are we still in this week? I feel like I lived 3 years in this week. It also didn't help that my son, who is on a mission in Ecuador, had called on Monday morning of this last week and had been deflated, wanted to come home again, was struggling with the little missionary that is his companion. They are just so different, and this person is just a little bit crazy and says really weird things and does really weird things and also doesn't speak any English, so he's Spanish 24/7, which he's fluent now after being in the country for 7 months and speaking Spanish to everyone. He's fluent, but I think as a missionary, sometimes it's kind of nice to talk in your native language for a little while, and when you have a companion that speaks not your native, it's kind of tough. So he was feeling really uncomfortable. And like when he is struggling, my mama heart goes out to him because like I want to tell him, just come home. You don't have to do this. And then the other part of me is like, I know how much he'll regret it if he does that. And so I have to be like strong and tell him, you can do this, keep going. And I think it just took a lot out of me. And I was worried about him a lot more this week, I guess. And, I was still upset about the shooting in Michigan that happened to one of our churches back in Michigan, and the people just going through such tragedy. And then our prophet passed away, and we still don't have a new prophet in place. And then we had our World General Conference without our prophet, and there were so many talks that touched my heart, and I spent a lot of time crying and having a lot of come to Jesus. So like there was just a lot. It just felt like a lot happened this week, even though really nothing did. I didn't do anything exciting. And I went to a dance convention with my girls and literally sat in a chair for 8 hours watching the kids dance, but not moving around myself. I did start my own dance class this week, and that will be in the vlog. So if you guys want to see how that went, it was super fun. But then I was so sore from the dance class that I couldn't do anything for the next few days. I could barely walk. I was proud of myself because I did a really good job during the class and I was able to hold my own better than I thought I would. But apparently my muscles weren't fully strong because, especially the backs of my legs, because I've been strengthening the fronts of my legs walking through the pool water all the time. And the backs of my legs are what really got worked during the workout with my clogging shoes. So that was sore. And also it was sad because it got super cold, super rainy. I had to drive in a really scary rainstorm. I didn't film that at all because I was so scared. I literally was crying. I was so scared. I was hitting so many hydroplane puddles, and I was so far away from home and just so scared. And that was really like, that took a lot out of me as well. And like, it feels like a lot of experiences happened that were like emotional, but not like exciting for you guys. Like, but for me inside, like it was a lot. So it was a long week. And I don't know how I feel about the 5 milligrams. Like Dave took it last week before me, even though he started after me. He decided, I think he did 5 weeks at 2.5. He decided to do the Eli Lilly. Why do I keep saying Lilly Direct? Is that even a thing? I don't know why I keep saying that. Eli Lilly dosages. He started on 2.5 instead of the Brello dosages. He did 5 weeks on 2.5, and then he decided to jump to the 5. He was like, he was so hungry and he was just having a really hard time. He was like, just give me the 5. Well, I don't know if he ate something bad, but he got so sick. He had diarrhea for like days, and he was like, this is terrible. And he was so happy. It seemed like he was happy that I got nauseated when I took it because he seemed like, yes, you know how it was like now. And it wasn't as bad as what he went through. But then this week, he decided to go and do the 4.4. He decided to back off And I don't know if he'll regret that decision or not. He's actually in Texas right now. He's in Texas all week, this coming week. And I won't see him until the day before his shot day. So I do not know, like, how it's going for him right now when he's alone and all he's got to do is get meals and do classes. I don't know if going down to the 4.4 was a good idea for him or not, but I guess we'll find out. He did not get sick, though. So he took it on Friday, and he left Monday morning. He hadn't gotten sick at all, and he was like, oh, maybe I was just food poisoning. It's so hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. I will give you Dave's update now because I'll probably forget to do it later. As of his week 6 or 7, I forget. I think it was week 7, yeah, because I'm going into week 9. We're like a week and a half apart, and it's so hard to keep track of. So his week 7 results was 24 pounds down. I'm so proud of him. It's awesome. He's looking so much trimmer, especially through here, and I'm just like so excited for him. And as for me, let's just start getting into mine because, you know, I like to talk for at least 20 minutes before, okay, it wasn't that many this time, before I finally get to the results because I just want to gab. And I want you guys to listen to me. I don't know. I just do that. I don't ever mean to. It just feels like anticlimactic to just come on here with no stories and then just tell you the data. I don't know. Normally I would, in the past, I showed the vlog first and then talked about the data after. It's probably something in that experience that's making me think that it's just weird to just go on and give you the data. I know you guys would prefer it that way, and I apologize. So those of you who were kind enough to save the time codes in a post, in a comment for me last week. I can't remember who did it, but whoever it was, I pinned it. And I shall pin it for whoever decides to do that for the poor lovely people. So if you guys don't want to hear me talking, I know it's too late now. But like in the future, look for a pinned post and see if somebody did that for you. Because I can't. Recording these, in fact, I've really only got out, I'm out of time. I'm out of time to record these videos already. I'm supposed to be watching my grandson right now, and I haven't even started giving you the data. So I've just got my cute grandson downstairs, and I watched him this morning, and I'm supposed to watch him this afternoon. Normally I don't have to watch him more than once on a Tuesday, but today I needed to watch him twice. My daughter is, my daughter who has a baby is teaching at the girls' dance studio where they go to dance. And she gets like random, she'll take up like sub jobs or whatever. And so I'm home lots more this year, which is so nice. Now that we've let go of the toxic studio, I don't have to be there half my life. It's been so nice to be able to babysit my cute grandson because he used to literally hate me. And now we like are pals. And we have these specific dances like we do for Golden from the Demon Hunters movie. I've never actually watched the movie, but he and I have a little dance we do together. He is a dancer. That kid can dance. Anyway, so I got to get this done so I can go take care of him because Ruby is good at taking care of him, but, you know, I don't want her to have to do it all by herself because he is a busy boy, if you know what I'm saying. Like, he gets into everything. I put up everything that is dangerous, but, like, he makes more mess in this house than all my kids put together, and that's saying a lot because my house is usually a mess. So he's a lot. Anyway, shall we do it? Shall we do it? Let's do it. Let's get into week 8. I will tell you all my results for week 8, and then I will tell you my results for the whole 2 months on a GLP-1. So let's get going. So here are my weigh-ins for week 8, beginning with October 1st. 247.1, 246.7, 247.6, 247.6, 248.7, that was the day that I ovulated, so I did go up. 245.4, and then I drastically dropped. 245.8, that was this morning. So that gives me an average weight of 246.9, which is down 2.6 average from last week. If I go from Tuesday to Tuesday, week to week, I'm down 1.8. So that's pretty good. For ovulation week, for me to even lose any weight at all, I did not lose. I went back and looked. I did not lose very much at all the last time I ovulated last month. So that's a total relief. I'm happy. Like, that's a great loss. That's a really great loss. I'm very happy with that. Measurement-wise, I went down another 2.25 inches. I'm not going to give you all the details of where. Suffice it to say, this week, I lost 2.25 inches. My steps were kind of abysmal. Like I said, I couldn't get in the pool. Actually, did I tell you that I couldn't get in the pool? I never really said that, I don't think. I was talking about how it got cold and rainy, which means I didn't get in the pool. And I couldn't get in the pool that much. I think I did one day in the pool, and I think that's the day I got 9,399 steps, because I think I walked 3 miles, because I knew it could possibly be my last day in the pool. So my steps for the week, my average was 2683, which is pretty bad. Now, I will say that during my clogging class, which was a whole hour of steps, I couldn't track those, firstly because I was recording myself with my phone, and secondly because I stayed in one spot, so my phone wouldn't have picked it up because it runs on GPS, and I don't have a tracker. I really want to get a human band, and I'm going to eventually when I have enough in my HSA. But my HSA right now, I just bought my second round of Brello. I did tell them I want to titrate up, so the dosages that are going to be coming will be 8.8 milligrams, 11.2, is that right? 11 milligrams, and 13.2 milligrams. That's a lot of milligrams. So, and especially because I'm probably not going to even be close to titrating up that much. So I'm going to have a lot of meds. And in another video, I am going to show you guys all the little gadgets that I've gotten, like my case for my medications, the needle snipper that I got that Samantha recommended. What else have I gotten? A GLP-1 book that's really helping me to understand how to talk to my family about it and the science behind it and that kind of thing. I just bought a few things and some supplements that I've really used that I'm probably going to make another video about if I can find time to record a video, which is the hard part, and edit a video, which is the really hard part, because that takes even longer than sitting here and sitting here and talking to you. So I think that's pretty great. Calories for the week were the same as before, as they have been across the board. I won't even tell them all to you, but my average was 1575. And my protein was 143, and that's probably almost exactly what I have been almost the entire time that I have been on a GLP-1. My carbs were 100, which is lower than usual, and 55, which is higher for fats. And then fibers was really good, 32 average, and I didn't have any constipation issues this week because I was really careful with my fiber. And did you guys know that lots of keto snacks have lots of fiber in them? And I think that's funny because I didn't really realize that I was eating so much fiber when I was eating those keto snacks before, but they have more fiber than like vegetables, and they take up way less room in your stomach, and they have protein. So whenever people complain about me eating my protein snacks, I just think it just makes more sense, because on the GLP-1, you can't eat as much food. I made the hugest mistake last night and had broccoli with my dinner. And I ate the broccoli before I finished my meat, and I couldn't finish my meat, and I was super mad. And I'm like, why am I even eating this broccoli? I don't even know why. I didn't really want to eat the broccoli. I mostly ate the broccoli because I figured you guys would say something about me eating 0 vegetables for the entire week. And so I thought I'd throw some broccoli, and then I regret it because I couldn't get my protein in. I didn't really need any more fiber. I was like 50 grams yesterday. I digress. I'm just whining about the people who say I don't eat enough vegetables. Well, when you can only fit so much food in your stomach, you gotta concentrate on the most important things, which are protein, fiber, water, electrolytes. That's your most important thing. And then the fiber can come from supplements, and it can come from the things that have protein in them, and you can double duty that. Like, you don't have to get your fiber from vegetables. I also take a multivitamin, so I always have, because I'm not a veggie eater. So, I don't know. I never got a lot of flack about vegetables on keto, because I don't think people expect you to eat it. But like, why? Because I'm eating carbs do I have to eat vegetables? If the reason I'm eating for vegetables is just for fiber alone, a lot of other things have fiber in them and have more. So, I don't know, just a conundrum I have gone through in my head. All right, so that is it for week 8 results. So my current weight is 245.8. So let us go over the weights for the whole 2 months and how it kind of went. Oh, I was going to put the dosages. So, well, I know the dosages, so. Okay, so week 1, I was on 2.2 milligrams. I went immediately into tracking. I suffered a lot. It was painful. I did not enjoy it. But On average, I went down 3.1 for the week, and week to week, I went down 7.7 that first week, regardless that I still was starving to death and thought I was dying. Week 2, I went down on average 3.6, which was really technically the other half of that 7.7. And then 0.1 from week to week, which, makes sense. Week 3, I was down 3.4 average and 3.3 by the week to week. So right on target there. Week 4, which was my ovulation week, I was down 0.6 on average and 0.2 week to week. So basically didn't lose weight that week. Week 5, I was down 0.8 on average, but I was down 2.2 for the week to week, which means I dropped at the end of the week. For week 6, I was down 2.9 average, which means I got to add in that 2.2 that I didn't really claim on the average the week before, but on the week to week, I was only down 0.2. Week 7, I was only down 0.5 on average, but week to week, I was down 3.1 because I dropped at the end of the week. I guess I picked a good day because it seems to be like Tuesday, my weigh-in day, is actually where I'm getting the biggest drop. So I don't even know if I need to do the average because it seems to me like they're pretty dang close. I don't know. With keto, I was all over the place. I was up, down, all around, and maybe I don't need to do that as much. I like doing it, but maybe I don't need to do it, if you know what I'm saying. And week 8, we just told 2.6 average or 1.8 week to week. So if you add all those up, on average, I'm down 17.5 pounds, which means 264.4 minus the average for this week, which was 246.9. Then from week to week, if I go from my highest weight to the lowest weight so far, well, not the lowest weight so far, the weigh-in today, which yesterday's was lower. So the weigh-in today, that is a total of 18.6 pounds down. So 17.5 average, 18.6 week to week. Honestly, I think that's so close. Like, I'm not sure I need to do the average so much as, other than I like doing it and showing it to you guys. It worked really great for me when I was doing keto. And my hormones seemed to I did a lot of water retention things, which is so funny to me because I was basically not eating carbs. And now I am eating carbs and my body is not retaining water. I mean, I got to give credit to the GLP-1 for that, but that's awesome, right? Eating carbs has always made me swell up, and I'm so grateful to be able to eat them. Now, I'm not eating a huge amount. My average is 100 and 112 and one whatever. Like, it's literally so the same the whole time. Like 92, 116, 117. Like, my carbs are low. So they're not keto low, but I'm still eating carbs, and I love that. So anyway, my total weight loss, I guess, is 18.6 pounds in 2 months. That's amazing. And if you go in my Shotzi app and I go on to, this is my calendar, and this is where I put in my weights and my calories, okay? And then down here, I keep track of my shots. And if you go to jabs, it tells you all the shots you took. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys the dosages. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Okay, Okay, let me just finish this, and you can see all the dosages that I did. So you can see there's a lot of different colors there, and I'm going to talk about that. And then I've got my summary. So the summary up here, it tells me how much medication is left in my system, which is only 2.91. And I find that once I get below 3, I don't do so great. So today I have been okay. But I've been hungry, but I haven't really been nauseated. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's your summary. And then if you go to results in the middle, if you've been tracking all of your weights, they show up. And you can see all of the dosages along with the line. And it tells you what dose you were on when you dropped so much weight. But what it also tells you is your total change down, 18.6 pounds. And it tells you your current BMI, which is 38.5. It tells you your weight loss percent, the amount of percentage of weight that you've lost, which for me is 7% of my weight in 2 months. That's awesome. And my weekly average, which is minus 2.3 pounds. And then it shows you down here, so these are all my calories. These are the days I went to Oregon, so they aren't in here because I didn't track. These are all of my calories for the whole time. And right here, it tells me my average calories for the entire time I have been doing these shots and tracking my weights is 1584. So like I said, right the same, right across the board for everything. So that has been really, really great. So you can now see the dosages on here. So let me go over that. So I told you I had the 2.2 at the first week. And then the very next week, I decided that it wasn't working for me. And I decided I was going to try the Eli Lilly dose. Well, the Eli Lilly dose was hard to get on my syringe. So I ended up taking 2.64 that on week 2. And you can see I only did it for a week. It's this little tiny blip right here. And I basically stayed the same weight while I was on 2.64. Then this blue one is 2 weeks worth of 3.08. I totally meant to go up to 2.84 and did the same kind of mistake. Well, not mistake, but I didn't mean to. I forgot that anyway, I don't even know why I did it. I just went up to 3.08 and I did that twice. So you can see there's like a little dot here and there's a little dot. You probably can't see, but there's a little dot. You can see in the turquoise, there's a little dot and a little dot. And those are the 2 jabs. Then you can see here, I went up again to 3.74 for 1 week. And that was because I was thinking about going up to the 4.4 and I was just trying to bridge the gap because I didn't dare to just jump all the way. Then you can see I have 2 little dots in purple at the 4.4. And then this this lighter, more red purple is my 5 milligram dose. So those are all my weights. I put every single one in, except for, of course, in Oregon where I didn't track, which is in the purple here. And you can see how crazy it kind of goes up and down, but mine has been pretty steady, to be honest. That's a pretty steady line for weight loss, and I'm very happy with that. So I love the Shotzi app for this. I really wish that there was an app that would track, that you could track all of your food, like in detail, also track the shots, like, but I'm sure like a thing like that would cost a lot more money. Shotzi does cost money if you don't pay attention. And if you want to know your estimated levels for the future, like if I were to take a 5 milligram, like what would my estimated level be a week later, which would be convenient for me because knowing that I go below 3, that could determine whether or not I stay at 5 this week or go down to 4.4. Because if I were to go down to 4.4 at still being at 2 point whatever, maybe I could stretch that out and maybe I wouldn't need to be at 5 and maybe that would mitigate the nausea a little bit. But because I can't see that, because I'm not willing to pay the monthly fee, I can't determine whether or not that would be the case, which is the only thing I wish I had on here that I don't have. So there's that. I think I'll probably just stay at the 5. I mean, why not? That's the normal Eli Lilly dose anyway. And that was my goal, was to get up to the Eli Lilly dose. And I'm literally at the end of that 4 weeks at this point. I'm to the point now where I'm now supposed to go up to the 7.5. Like if I was just going with a regular doctor and the pens, they'd probably put me on 7.5 unless I told them otherwise. And Brello, I'm supposed to be going up to 6.6. So I feel like those who are saying I'm doing it too quickly are not really paying that much attention to what I'm actually doing. Because I don't call that too quickly. It took me a full 8 weeks just to get up to the 5. And that's not normal practice. So I don't think there's any problem with me doing it itty bitties at a time. But I think for this week, I'm just going to stick with the 5. And maybe 5 will be my dose. Maybe this I'll have less nausea. Maybe I'll still have the no food noise and the satiety, which those 2 things are the number 1 things that's determining if I need to move up. It's not even weight loss. Like I had weight loss this week, which I was not expecting, which is I will take it. But for me, it's the if I eat and then if I feel like I still need to eat, that I got a problem. And then if I'm constantly thinking about food and my brain just feels like it's frying and it's like so much going on in there, that's a sign to me that it's not doing what it needs to do. Now, I want to be hungry. Don't get me wrong, because actually hunger suppression is not a benefit of the GLP-1, much to most people's chagrin. Often people talk about wanting that, but that's actually a side effect of the medication, which is why it doesn't last, because it's not supposed to do that. Just like nausea, your body is supposed to get used to it, and you're supposed to still feel hungry and want to eat. The problem is that I feel ravenously hungry, which triggers my brain, and I can't have that. So as long as the hunger is I could deal with it and it stays in my stomach and doesn't move up to my brain, I call that it's working. So when I'm saying that I'm hungry, I'm talking about like eating, my stomach wanting to eat into my backbone and my brain burning up hungry. When I say I'm ravenously starving, that's what it feels like. It's not like that every single day, and it's not like that all the time. I'm hungry right now. I can literally feel the hunger in my stomach right now, but it's not affecting my brain. And so I can ignore it and just like put it off. If I can't ignore it and put it off, then we got a problem. So I think that's what I'm going to do for the week. And just so you guys, because you're so awesome to be here till the whole endy of my video. Surprise, surprise, I am going to include the evil 360. Now, I say evil because, guys, I made a huge mistake when I did my before, and I didn't realize that until I had done my 1 month 360 and edited it into the last video. But I wore panties that, when stretched, are see-through. I did not realize it until I was editing the video. So if you were wondering why I'm putting little blur bars across my booty, that would be why, because I can never get rid of that. Even though now I have switched to different panties, I can't fix the before. So I don't want to show you my butt crack. I'm sure you don't want to see that, because who would? That's nasty. So I'm blurring it out. So I'm hoping that those of you who made it to the end of this video, and if you want to tag it in your little post with the timmies, you know, whatever. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I apologize in advance that I had to blur my butt because I wore see-through underwear. Of course I did. And I have that forever. It's going to be in every month video all the way to the end of my journey. And it just literally makes me want to die. But it is what it is. Okay, I am way past time. I really gotta run. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you so much for watching the video, especially if you made it all the way through. It really does benefit this channel and keeps pushing it out to other people. And it's so nice for me to feel supported in my journey because this GLP-1 thing is new to me. Weight loss is not. GLP is totally new. And I'm looking forward to a lot more of these awesome videos and a lot more weight loss and a lot more positive, happy things in the future. So thank you so much for being here and watching this, and I'll talk to you all again soon.
From the past into the future.